Experimenting with time, unfortunately, leaves one rarely surprised. For example, I am a sage of the Sigic Order, as I assumed you would have realized since we're standing upon Artaeum. But I have a message. The Right Master requires your assistance. As I was going out anyway, I agreed to act as a messenger for you. I'm sure the Right Master will provide details, though I can tell you it involves the augury spell he plans to cast upon the abyssal pearl that you and Valcerin discovered. You can find the Right Master in Kapora Tower in the main...
Good, you're back. Valcerin suggested you would be invaluable in our efforts to extract information from the Abyssal Pearl, and I can... A few insignificant echoes and a name to apply to it, but nothing to tell us who created it or what kind of magic it employs. We're about to enter a crucial stage of the augury ritual, so none of us can leave this chamber. If you could find my acolyte, Oriandra should be in Sothasil's chambers, cataloging his old research and experiments. Tell her I need the... Leader implies command, and a level of structure more suited to an army than an order of mystic monks. That said, I
You must be the adventurer that Valcerin was going on about. Allow me to be the first to welcome you to our secret island. That strange pearl has certainly been reluctant to reveal its secrets. The Right Master hates it when an inanimate... What? No, not in the traditional sense. He's not one of our monks, if that's what you're asking. More like an honorary member, I guess you'd say. According to my records, the silver vial should be right over there. As soon as the pearl arrived via Valcerin's transference spell, the Right Master gathered the conclave to prepare an augury ritual. He's been cycling sages through... I'm the Right Master's acolyte. I have other duties to perform. Besides, such a complex ritual requires the power of the conclave of...
Was Oriandra able to direct you to the proper elixir? Without something to amplify the magic, our ritual is going to fail. Just in time. For the next stage of the ritual, if you have no objections, I'd like you to join us. Your experiences alongside Valcerin might help reveal what has so far eluded our efforts. We'll handle the magic. You pour the elixir into the scrying pool and stand close. As the ritual's power amplifies, your experiences with the Pearl and the false Aldark should help the augury do its job. We want to discover the origin of the Pearl and its strange magic. In addition, anything we can learn about the false Aldark and his connection, pour the elixir into the pool. That should provide the final boost we need to trigger the augury.
Here we stand, the most favored servants of Clavicus Svile, Mephala, and Nocturnal, on the verge of the greatest victory for our princes.
Are you sure those creatures can be trusted?
Have no fear. Isn't that why we formed the Court of Bedlam? Besides, what happens next in Relenthil will seal Summerset's fate.
That was unnerving. It seems the false Aldok belonged to an alliance of Daedric cultists called the Court of Bedlam. Imagine the faithful of Clavicus Vile, Mephala, and Nocturnal working together. This is more serious than I anticipated. No, but I'm hardly an expert on the Daedric cults of Tamriel. The magic I sensed in the pearl, though, it doesn't contain the taint of oblivion. We're missing something. But what? I suppose we'll need to find out what's going on in Relenthil. I hoped you'd say that. Relenthil sits to the west of Shimmerine, just across the mountains. I'll send Valcerin.
Rekojode Deni Ta. Rekode Deni Ta. Hora Deni Ta.
How can I?
Need to see the wares?
Nobody comes out of cryptid parts alive. Nobody.
The Office of Divine Prosecution requires strong-minded assistance.
This one has been looking for you. Raz's investigations have brought him to Relenthiel. When this one noticed your Sijic friend slip into town, Raz figured you'd be along soon. So, what did you discover? Yes, this one has been exploring the Daedric connection as well. But Raz hates Daedra. In Raz's experience, that is disturbingly vague. Why must cryptic cultists be so cryptic? Well...
Drat! Which one could he possibly be?
Go inside and we'll discuss this later. And take off that ridiculous hood.
Ridiculous? I'll show you what's ridiculous. I'll show you all!
You think as Canon Reeve I'd be immune to the troublesome temper of a spoiled and rebellious child. But what distinguished visitors I have today. A wandering sage, a well-dressed Khajiit, and you. What brings such a group to Relenthiel? Investigating. For who? Well, there have been 3 reports this week of someone disappearing. And my intractable son Nadoril and his malcontent friends have been cavorting around the large sinkhole that recently appeared. What are you implying? They're just young and proud of their heritage. It's unusual for newcomers to encroach upon Altmer affairs, especially since...
Raz wants to ask the Canon Reeve a few more questions. Take the Sijic and go investigate the sinkhole.
Dawnbreaker, open the way! Oh, come on! Stupid Daedric interference! I'll be back!
These roots.
Nidoril's mad! He attacked Eldon, and one of those horrible creatures tore off my hood!
That young woman was certainly in a hurry. And what was that about Nadoril? Yes, well, let's be on our guard then. I don't think this sinkhole is completely natural. It certainly feels dangerous. And if it does figure into the Court of Bedlin's plans, well, I can't think of a more frightening... The walls and ceiling, they don't look stable. I'll try to reinforce the weak spots and catch up with you. More of those Yagra creatures. Be careful.
Is someone there? Help! Please help! Crazy bastard stabbed me! God, this hurts! It was just kind of fun, joining the Court of Bedlam, espousing the virtues of our... When we heard that they planned to release those creatures, I made the mistake of saying...
The Court of Bedlam will eradicate the lesser races. Maybe even deal with our unworthy queen.
Over here. Keep quiet and tell me if you see what I see. You see that, right? My eyes aren't playing tricks on me. That's a sea slode. They haven't been seen in Summerset since... A vile and dangerous species. Very powerful. The sea slode come from the distant underwater kingdom of Ulvorkus. Who's that hooded figure with the slode? And look, more of those abyssal pearls. The slode are a godless people. Perhaps the most hated in Tamriel. And the sea slode are even worse. They employ depraved magic and have long coveted Summerset. They believe it once belonged to them. They pillage, release plagues. They're horrible. The hooded figure could be a member of this so-called Court of Bedlam. At this point, nothing would surprise me. That slode has me worried, though. You see that? A vile and dangerous species. The slode are a godless people. Perhaps the most... The hooded figure could be a member of this so-called Court of Bedlam. At this point, they could certainly have a connection to the sea slode's submerged kingdom, but they appear to...
Master! Intruders in the cave!
Heed me, my creatures! Destroy the intruders!
That young idiot! We need to get over there.
Witness the power of Katora, the Abyssal Cabal!
This way. We're almost there. This way! Up here! Damn! No sign of where the sea slow disappeared to. Damn it! I wasn't fast enough. For the time being, let's see... The sea slow left us something to remember it by. We need to dispatch that creature. There! I think we can get out over there.
Hurry, this way! Somehow Raz knew he'd find you.